Hey guys, welcome back to another video. I'm in here getting these ribs in place on the wing, and I've got them all bent except for the last one, so I'll show you how I do that. To get them bent, what I do is we'll come back and each one of these gets spaced 16 inches apart, and there'll be a half rib in between those. And so I lay all these out and mark them close to what the cord is going to be. So when I come back and get everything welded in place, I'll get everything cut, and that allows me to cut off my excess waste off of one end so I can use all these extra pieces to bend my half ribs and I don't have a lot of waste. I've got the end welded in place and cut to what the cord's going to be there, and I've got the two center ribs the same. I've got them tacked into place and cut to length on what the cord's going to be. So let me get set up here and I'll show you how I bend them. This is my bender that I use. We just took a piece of 1/4 inch steel and heated it up and bent it to the profile of what our ribs are going to be. And I've got it notched there and a little keeper there just so I don't have to hold it in place with any kind of vice grips, because when I bend it, it wants to bow out right here. So I've got it set in there to where just one hand, and I bend it around, and there's my mark for what the cord's going to be roughly. I measure everything about 1 inch long to cut it off at the angle that I want, but I just put them in here and then I just bend it around to the profile. So my first step in getting the ribs in place is to get the bottom of the rib tacked to the front spar and the rear spar, and I tack it to the top of the front spar. And I've got these little holders that space everything the same distance apart. They just snap onto each rib and I move them down as I go. And I've just got a straight edge from the center rib to the outer rib. I tack the rear spar, and I don't do it on the top yet because I'll come back and I'll cut all these tails off. I'll get everything cut to the proper length for the cord, and then I will cut the top of the rib, and once everything is in the right position, I'll go back and get everything tacked into place there. Now that all of the front of the ribs are tacked into place, the next step is to lay a straight edge from the end rib to the center rib, and I mark all of the ends and cut them off. That way I'll have a straight trailing edge, and then I'll go back and I'll cut off the top of the ribs to match that and get everything welded in place. I'm set up now to finish welding all the ribs in place. I've got all the ends cut to the right length. I'll go back and I'll finish welding these front edges to the top of the spar, and then I'll go back and I will weld the top of the rib to the rear spar, and then after all that is welded up, I will weld the tail ends. Okay guys, I've got this half of the wing done. The top of the ribs are completely welded. They just get welded on either side, front and back, and then they're all completely welded. I've got the ends tacked together. When I put the trailing edge piece on, that'll get welded all the way around and finished off, and then like I said, I've just got the bottom of the ribs tacked into place for now, and when I get the other half of the wing done, I'll flip it all over and weld the bottom of those the same way I did the top, just on either side of the ribs. So once all those are done, I'll come back and I'll put the little half ribs on the front, and they will be done, and then it's on to other things. So that's all I've got for this video. I'm trying to keep them pretty short and still let you know how I do everything. So for now, that's all I got. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.